Accurate monitoring is one of the most important aspects of color grading. That's why we have our scopes, because you can't always depend on the accuracy of the monitor you're using right now. Is it calibrated? Is it the right kind of monitor? And for filmmakers working on a budget, creating a monitoring environment is not the easiest and the cheapest thing to do. We can rely on scopes, but one of the techniques that I like is to use pre-graded images as a reference. What this means is getting an image that was graded in Hollywood. So when I display that image on my screen, I know that this is how my current image that I'm working on should look. These are the black levels, the midtones, the highlights. This is how it should look. So I'm grading against a pre-graded image. I always keep a lot of color references. You can just keep it on your as JPEG file on your system. In order to import it, you have to come to Gallery here, right-click, and import. By default, it's asking for DPX files. Just change this to all files, and now you can access these files, and you can import any image or any reference that you like. I'm not going to import this because I already imported my image. Now, I have this image here, and I want to grade it against this still image that I got from the internet. So I'm going to double click on my still here, so I can grab this line right and left to show more or less of the original image or the reference image. Let's try to grade the image on the left to match the image on the right. It's never going to be accurate 100% because the lighting is different, the whole image is different. The first thing we'll notice is that the color palette of this image goes from a greenish shadows to more of golden highlights. So greenish shadows to golden highlights. The first thing I'm going to try to do is to balance the midtones in my image on the left to the image on the right. I do that by switching to primaries mode first and just increase the gamma. And get the left down, more gamma, left down. Now, the more I pull the left down, it pulls some of the gamma with it. So in order to try to get the shadows down without affecting the midtones, I'm going to switch to log mode. And I'm going to get the shadows down in log mode. So now I'm crushing the shadows with less effect on the midtones. This looks good. Now let's add a new node and try to balance the overall color to match the one on the right. I'm going to switch back to primaries because remember, whenever you want to change the lighting in an image or how the image feel, the first thing you want to do is to change the highlights in the primaries, which is gain. So I'm going to come here, grab the gain, and try to match this golden color in the other image. Okay, and I'm going to get the shadows to look a bit green. Okay, now I'm going to add a new node. And one of the most important characters of the image on the right is that there is way less saturation in the shadows and in the highlights than the midtones. So I'm going to start by coming to the new node here and going to luma versus saturation and just decrease the shadow saturation, increase the midtones, and reduce the highlight saturation. And I'm gonna increase this more. And now I'm going to grab the mid-tone saturation and just move it left and right until find a point that I'm comfortable with. Okay, great. I'm going to add a new node and this time do the final touches in log mode. Now I'm going to grab the mid-tones and just move it. Find a comfortable point here, yeah. I'm going to take the shadows towards green and the highlights toward golden. And once again, I'm going to decrease the saturation in the shadows, decrease at the midtones, and decrease it in the highlights, and just do my trick of doing it left and right. And this is starting to look better. The last thing I'm going to be doing is to, in log mode, actually control the luma values in the midtones. Yeah, this looks better. Now, let's compare this image on the left with the original image that we started with. I'm going to hit Shift and D. And you can see that by getting a reference, a pre-graded reference, we were able to bypass some of the limitations that we have in terms of monitoring. Sometimes you're in the move, you're grading from a laptop, and you don't always have the right equipment or the right environment. And this might make your life a bit easier.